I was reading all these great thinkers from around 500 BC. Eastern schools like Buddha and Confucius. I was reading all the Greeks, like this is where Plato starts out, and the whole line of to Socrates and Aristotle. The great Jewish thinkers, the Jewish scriptures. This is the time of the kind of the end of the prophets, the great prophets and their writings. And I realized that they're all kind of focusing on some higher notion, some absolute. And what I mean by that is, if you take Confucius, for example, Confucius was always pointing to virtue, for instance. But when he was pointing to virtue at a human level, he always used this notion of a higher, capital V virtue, that was the absolute that dictated everything that was going on the human level. He couldn't kind of put his finger on it, but he knew it was there. Plato did this a lot with absolutes. If he was talking about beauty, for instance, and how we have all these incredible human notions of beauty in nature and people, but he would also always point to this capital B beauty, something that had to exist at a higher level, an absolute by which we could define in our own minds this small b beauty. Well, I think it's remarkable that about 500 years after all these great thinkers, first century A.D., a man, Jesus Christ, came along who made a remarkable claim. And he basically said that I am capital T truth. See, this was a remarkable concept because whether you were looking at Buddha, whether you were looking at Confucius, or whether you were looking at these great Greek thinkers and agnostic thinkers, they ultimately were pointing to this notion of a capital T truth. These absolutes that had to be out there for us to even be contemplating these little t truths. See, we're seeing little t truths all over, the agrarian crop cycles and the reproductive system in our livestock and in human beings. We were grabbing a hold scientifically and through observation of these small t truths. But everybody was always looking for this higher level of capital T truth. And that's who Jesus Christ declared himself to be. Now, I think the remarkable thing is everybody's always talking about converting from one religion to another, converting to Christianity. Why are you trying to convert me? I don't see it like that at all. I see Jesus Christ saying, I've come to complete all of these thought systems. Whether you're a Buddhist or a Hindu, a Muslim, a Greek agnostic, a Jew, I have come to declare myself the capital T truth that finishes all of your thought systems. I have come to declare myself capital T truth because I am the one who all of you were looking for. Something to think about.